Good morning, all.
Good morning, ma'am.
So, in the last class, we saw the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. Can anybody tell me what is the difference?
Microcontroller is on chip, uh, and in
Hmm.
microprocessor there is no on chip devices, memories.
Hmm. Okay, so on chip, there won't be any peripheral in a microprocessor, wherein in a microcontroller, you will have on chip peripheral to it. What is the application of microprocessor and a microcontroller? Where it is used? Where microprocessor will be used and where microcontrollers will be used?
Microprocessor
Ma'am,
in
in
desktop
computing
notepads.
devices,
Personal computer.
Personal computers, microprocessor will be used.
And
Whereas
microcontroller.
in hmm, hmm,
It will be used in washing machines or some music
hmm,
system.
hmm. That is application specific. Okay, they are all called as a application specific or embedded system. Microcontrollers will be used in the embedded systems, application specific systems. All right. Then we saw the structure, that is a block diagram of a microprocessor. So in microprocessor, what are the major three components? ALU, set of registers, and the control unit. Okay, and we saw the microprocessor based system, how a microprocessor is connected with the memory device and the IO devices. So with the help of the bus. What is bus?
wires.
Now it is a set of connecting wires through which the microprocessor communicates with the memory or the IO devices. So microprocessor, basically it is a digital device. So how it is going to communicate? In the form of zeros and ones. Okay. So there will be a parallel data which will be transferred between the microprocessor, the IO device and the memory devices. So it is actually a set of communicating wires through which the microprocessor will have a communication between the devices. Okay, so now if we see this system bus, so this is in general, it is called as a system bus. This system bus is divided into three types. All right, so the microprocessor will communicate with the IO devices with the help of the buses. So this bus, if you take it, the system bus, it is divided into three types. So the first one is the address bus, then data bus, and the control bus. Okay, so there will be three types of buses: address bus, data bus, and the control bus. Again, I'm telling you, whatever we are now learning, it is all the basics. So till your i7 processor or any higher end microcontrollers, ARM controllers, if you take, this is going to be the base. So we have to be very strong with the basics. All right, so any controller or any processor we take, it will have the buses. So these are the three types of buses. One is the address bus, data bus, third one is the control bus. Okay, so what is this address bus? So how the processor will communicate with the IO devices is that with the help of address. Okay, each device, say for example, if you're having the IO devices or the memory device, so in memory also we know there will be some addresses. Okay, so the processor will communicate with these devices with the help of address. So first it will fix the address, कहाँ पे data जाना है और कहाँ से data आना है. Okay, so that would be given by the microprocessor. All right, microprocessor giving इसका मतलब कि हम जब जैसा प्रोग्राम लिखेंगे वैसा वो एड्रेस से वो फेच करेगा, नहीं तो वो एड्रेस से स्टोर करेगा. All right, so the first bus is the address bus. So this bus is responsible for fixing the address of the peripheral. The peripheral can be your IO devices or your memory device. Okay, so this bus, address bus, is unidirectional. Unidirectional means what? It has only one direction. Why? Because your microprocessor is only going to fix the address. Okay, so through microprocessor only the address goes to these devices. Okay, that is why it is unidirectional. So your device will not give the address to the microprocessor. Okay, so that is why this address bus is unidirectional. All right, so from microprocessor it goes to the peripheral device. Okay, so this address can address either to a memory or to any IO devices. Okay, the next bus, if you see, it is the data bus. So data bus, in this bus through which only the data will be transferred between the microprocessor and the peripheral devices. Okay, it can be a data from microprocessor to the peripheral device or from peripheral device to the microprocessor. अगर इधर दोनों दो वे कम्युनिकेशन होता है तो इसलिए it is a bi-directional bus. So the data bus is a bi-directional bus. So what it does through the data bus, what all we can do is that we can transfer the binary data as well as the instructions. Okay. So once the address is fixed by the microcontroller, then through the data bus, the data can be transferred from the device to the microprocessor or from the microprocessor to the device. So it can be anything, either this the IO input output, that is the IO ports, or to the memory device. Okay, so the data bus is a bi-directional bus which is used to transfer the binary data and the instruction. Instruction मतलब क्या, हम जो command देगा वो कहाँ पे रहता है? It will be stored in your RAM memory. Okay, so it will just read those instructions. So processor को क्या करना पड़ेगा? It has to fetch the instruction, decode it and execute it. So fetching मतलब क्या है? It will go to that particular memory location, fetch that instruction, bring it into the microprocessor, process it, and accordingly it will give out the output. Okay, so that is why this data bus is bidirectional, wherein it will be used to fetch the instruction as well as the data to the microcontroller. The next one is the control bus. What is a control signals? अगर ये microprocessor fetch करना है, write करना है, read करना है, okay, read and write are the control signals which the microprocessor will release accordingly. ठीक है, अगर ये microprocessor wants to read a data from the memory, then what it will do, it will release a control signal called as a read signal. ठीक है, when it releases a read signal, then the particular chip will be enabled and from that it will read the data. Similarly, if the microprocessor wants to do a write operation, it will release a write signal and accordingly the chip will be enabled and it will do the data transfer into the that is into the peripheral device. Okay, so there are three types of buses. One is the address bus, data bus and the control bus. Address bus is unidirectional, wherein the microprocessor will release the address of a particular peripheral before communication. Okay, so once the address is fixed, then what it will do is that through the data bus, the data transfer will happen. Either it will do a read or a write operation. So the data can be either a binary data or a instruction. Okay, how this data can be transferred is by giving a proper control signal to the peripheral devices. So what are the control signals? It can be a read operation or a write timing signal. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है, अभी थोड़ा ये जो डायग्राम है ना, इसका थोड़ा एनलार्ज करके देखेंगे with this address, data and control lines. Okay, so now if you see here, this is our microprocessor wherein the address lines are released. See, it is a unidirectional bus. This address line goes to ROM, RAM, input output port. in the yesterday's class itself, I told you the input devices may not be connected directly with your microprocessor. There will be a peripheral in between the microprocessor and the input device. I call it as what? It is called as port. Okay. See here, there is a input port. Through this input port only, the input device is connected. So here input device example is given as switch. So the input device is connected to the port. All right. In turn, this port is connected with the microcontroller. See here, your switch is not directly connected with the microprocessor. Only the port is connected here. See, data bus is connected over here. Address bus is connected to the port. Similarly, the output device. So here the output device is LED, for example. All right. So again, this LED is connected with the help of output port, wherein this port only is connected to the buses. Okay. See here, the data bus goes over here. Data bus, actually address bus should also be here. There should be a line like this, address also. And if you see here, there is a read and the write control signal, which is given to all the devices. Getting it? Let me erase it and show you again. So from microprocessor, it will have an address lines which is unidirectional. Okay, so this address bus will fix the address of all the peripherals. It is fixing the address for ROM, RAM, IO port as well as the output port. Okay, then how the data will be transferred with the help of the data bus. Data bus is over here. It is bidirectional. Like from the processor, it can go to the memory, or from the memory, it can go to the processor. Similarly, like this. Okay, and there are a read write control signal. So this signal will be released as per the whether the processor is going to do a read or a write operation. Okay, now we will understand this. First is what is connected. First, ROM is connected. What is ROM basically? What is ROM?
Memory device.
It is a memory device. What is the full form of ROM?
Read-only memory.
Exactly. It is a read-only memory. Okay. What do you mean by that? Read-only memory.
Ma'am, we don't delete the data from ROM.
Exactly. We cannot delete. That is, a user cannot delete any data from the ROM. Okay. Say for example, see, whenever we start our laptop or a desktop, what it is exactly doing? It is actually booting, right? So it is it is going through a set of instructions which are written in the memory. Okay, those instructions we cannot do anything, we cannot delete it at all, because those are all the initialization program which cannot be deleted at all. Okay, and the user will not have the access to do it also. Okay, such kind of supervisory programs will be written in this ROM memory. Okay, so that is why it is called as read only memory. So from the microprocessor, if you see, there is only read signal goes to this ROM. There is no write signal. इसका मतलब है कि हम कुछ उसके ऊपर लिख नहीं सकते हैं. We cannot alter the program that is coded in the ROM memory. Okay, so the manufacturer will code it and give it. We cannot do anything with the ROM memory. That is, user cannot access this ROM memory. It can only read the data. That is, the supervisory control programs, all those things will be written in this ROM memory, wherein once we start our laptop or the desktop, whatever, so first it will read the programs from this ROM, so which are all the supervisory programs. So that is why there is only read signal goes to the ROM. Next, if you see read write memory, it is nothing but the RAM memory, that is random access memory. So this is a memory wherein the user will write the program. Okay, we can write the program, give the data, do the manipulate, what the program, whatever we are writing, we write it into the RAM memory only. Okay, wherein the user can write or access the data, everything is done with the help of this RAM memory. So if you take this RAM memory, here if you see, both the signals are going. So you read as well as write signal. Why? Because the processor can do both read as well as write operation into this. Okay. Next, if you see the input port, it will connect the input devices. Here an example is given as switch. You can connect keyboard, mouse, joystick, anything you can connect as an input port. Again, input is what we are giving input to the device. So what the microprocessor actually it has to do, it has to get the data from the device. Means in turn it will be reading the data from the input device. So that is why only read signal is going as the control signal to the input device. ठीक है, यहाँ पर देखो read signal is going. And similarly, output device will be what? Wherein the system will write into the output device. So that is why write is the control signal which goes into the output device. You can just see the arrow marks, how the data transfer is happening. So input device matlab processor ko jayega input, so that is why data is given to the data bus. Output matlab kya hai? Processor se bahar jayega, so the data is out to the output device. The common one is what? Your address bus. Address is given to all the devices. For RAM, ROM, input port as well as output port, the address bus is given. Okay. And if you see the data lines, the data buses, they are bidirectional for RAM. Okay. But for input device, data. Output device, we only send the output data. Similarly, ROM, we just read the data line through the data lines. Okay, so this how any microprocessor or microcontroller with the external peripherals. Hello. Any questions in this? So have you how it is connected with the microprocessor, peripheral devices? So in a microprocessor system, that is the microprocessor based system, the brain of the computer is nothing but your microprocessor. All right. So what is the major job of this? It will do a fetch instruction, decode them and execute them. This is the basic rule of any microprocessor or any microcontroller. Fetch, decode and execute. The perfect job of a microprocessor is what? It will fetch instruction, it will decode that instruction and then execute them and gives out the output. Okay. So as I told you, there are only 3 blocks in a microprocessor, that is arithmetic logic unit and a set of registers and the control unit. So what is the function of an arithmetic logic unit? It will perform the computing task. Okay, that is, it will perform any arithmetic or logical operations on the data. Then there is a set of instructions. Why we have to use a set of instruction? They are used for temporary storage. Say suppose if you want to add 2 numbers, हम क्या करते हैं? Microprocessor, it will bring the data into the processor. It will store them in the register which is present inside the processor. It will add those 2 numbers and gives the result. Result intermediately it will be stored in the register. Then it gets transferred to the memory. Okay, so that is the use of the register array in the microprocessor. The last one is the control unit. So the control unit, what it does, it is used for timing and other controlling functions. That is, it will release the control signals as per the instruction execution. ठीक है?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, then GPU also works the same way now, ma'am.
Okay.
In GPU, graphical power unit, it also works the same way, right? Like the microprocessor works, the inside system of it.
Yeah. See, basically, if you take any controller or a processor, the same way it has to work. Like it will just fetch the instruction, decode and execute it.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So in the last class, I told you about the memory device, right? So this how the memory will look like. See here, the addresses are there. So here, example of 4-bit address is given. So for 4-bit address, there are 4 address lines are present. Okay. So how, one second. Yeah. How the memory size is mentioned? It is mentioned as M by, what does M represent? What does M represent? Tell me.
Rows.
It is the rows. The M represents the number of rows. Actually, what it is? M is nothing but it is 2 raised to P. What is this P?
Address lines.
Exactly. So P defines the address lines. यहाँ पर ये example पे देखो, how many address lines are there? 4 address lines. So what is 2 raised to P? 2 raised to 4? 2 raised to 4 is what? 16. So 16, see here, 16 locations are there. I mean 16 rows are there from 000 to 111. Okay. So in these rows, the data will be placed. What does this N represent?
Data lines.
Exactly, data lines. So how many data lines are here in this structure?
2.
Only 2?
8.
When you mark it like this, it means that it is set of data lines. Okay, D0 to D7, which is 8 data lines. See this how it will be like. So this is actually, this location has this register, 8-bit register. In 0001, there is 8-bit register. So register 0 to register 15. Okay. So in this consecutive memory locations only, the program will be stored. Whatever the program we write, it gets converted into binary and it gets stored in this register locations. Similarly, the data also that we give, that also gets stored into this register location. That is a memory location. Okay. So from this location, what the processor will do, it will fetch the instruction, decode the instruction, and then executes it. This is what is the basic idea of any processor. Okay, so when we say a program to the microprocessor, means it is nothing but the software. So far we have seen how, what is the hardware of it, I mean the block diagrams of the hardware. So when you say software, it is nothing but the program that we write to the microprocessor. All right, the microprocessor, if you see, it can understand only machine language. So when you say machine language, what it could be?
Assembly language.
Yeah, assembly language. And which is a very much lower level language?
0-1 language.
Exactly.
Binary.
It can understand only zeros and ones. Okay. So the instruction that we give to a microprocessor is nothing but a machine language, which is binary instruction. But can we write that binary instructions? Can we write binary value directly? Instruction
No,
लिखना तो possible है क्या? Because
No.
we cannot write it so confidently, and like how the machine can do it, in that way we cannot write it. Okay, so for that reason, हम लोग जैसा engineers लोग हैं ना, हम electronics engineers, so where we are actually working at the lower level with the hardware. Okay, we people can write in a language which a machine can understand, is called as the assembly language. This assembly language, if you see, it is actually a low level language. This assembly language is mission dependent. अभी हम एक प्रोसेसर लेंगे तो उसका इंस्ट्रक्शंस हम thoroughly रीड करेंगे, then we are going to write the program for that instruction. एक मिनट है. हेलो हेलो மேம் நான் அவருக்கு டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணேன், அவர் இன்னும் எனக்கு வந்து ரிப்ளை கொடுக்கல. நான் இப்போ லெக்சர் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு, முடிச்சுட்டு நான் திருப்பி அவருக்கு கால் பண்ணுறேன். சரி மேம். யா இல்லை மேம், அவருக்கும் டெக்ஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், நான் திருப்பி அவர் கால் பண்ணுறேன், லெக்சர் முடிச்சுட்டு பண்ணுறேன் அவருக்கு. Okay. So what I was saying, the lower level language is either zeros or ones or in the form of assembly language. So this assembly language, if you take, these are the instructions which are mission dependent. अगर मैं 8085 processor use करेंगे है तो I should know what are the instructions in 8085. ठीक है, वो इंस्ट्रक्शन पढ़ने के बाद ही मुझे समझ में आएगा कि उसको कैसा मैं इंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोग्राम लिख सकते हैं. Similarly, if I use a 8086, the instruction set would be different. So you should understand those instructions and you have to write the program. So likewise, if you see the lower level language, they are mission dependent. ठीक है, तो wherein if you take a high level language, what are high level languages?
Assembly language.
High level?
C.
Yeah, C language, which is a high level language. So in C language, if I have to write the program, see, if as I told you, like you use any laptop, okay, in that you may have a i3 processor or Pentium processor or i5 processor, but I can write the same C code in all the any laptop or any desktop, provided if I have a proper compiler in it for C. Okay, the same program only I can write in any number of laptop or in the desktop, right? So what is exactly happening is that there is a compiler which will convert this source code, that is whatever we write in a high level language, to a mission language. Okay, these high level languages, if you take, they are user friendly, user understandable language. But wherein the mission, for mission, the compiler would convert it into a binary code and it will give it to it. Those high level languages are mission independent of the processor. Mission independent matlab hai kaisa hai? It is independent of the processor. Okay, it does not depend on the processor. We write C language in the same structure only, same statements only. We are not going to alter for i3 के लिए ऐसा लिखना है, i7 processor के लिए ऐसा लिखना है, ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं है, because they are all high level languages. They are mission independent. अगर हम ऐसा छोटा प्रोसेसर को लिखेंगे तो even i7, i5 and all, they have mission instructions. You're getting it? So whenever, if we have to work in the lower level with the hardware, then we should understand those instructions actually. Okay. So since we are going to work with the hardware, so we are going to understand about the assembly language. Okay. Assembly language में क्या रहता है? The instructions will be in the form of mnemonics. So here an example is given. If you see here, the instruction in assembly language, it will be in the form of mnemonics. See, add B, add A, okay, ABA. These are all the instructions that are given to a particular microprocessor. Okay, so these mnemonics are nothing but the instructions that we give to the microprocessor. In assembly language, the instructions are called as the mnemonics. Whatever we are going to write like this, what will happen is that there will be a software called as an assembler. ये assembler क्या काम करेगा? It will convert these mnemonics, whatever the mnemonics that we are going to do, right? So this mnemonics will be converted into a hex code. So the job of the assembler is to convert the mnemonics to hex code. See, 80, 28, 1B, these are all hex code. In turn, what is hex? It is nothing but the binary. ठीक है, see here, hex is nothing but binary. ठीक है, तो हम जो assembly language लिखेंगे that will get converted into an that is a binary code with the help of the assembler. In turn, it just converts to a mission language which is nothing but zeros and ones. ये जो है ना instructions, these instructions will get stored in this memory locations. यहाँ पर वो store हो जाएगा. Understood? Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So here
Yes,
an
ma'am.
example is given. See, for Intel 8085, the addition instruction is add B. In 8051, the addition instruction is add with the two registers, A with R0. In Motorola 6811, the instruction is ABA. You are getting it, as I told you, it is mission independent. So these are all the missions. 8085 is one mission. 51 is one mission. 6811 is another mission. So if you see the same addition instruction, but with the different processor, the instructions are varying. All right. So this is how, so now in our syllabus, what we are going to study is that we will be studying about this Intel 8051. Okay, we are going to go in depth about this 8051 architecture, and हम उसमें जो instructions है, we are going to learn those instructions, and we are going to write the program using the assembly language. We are just close to the hardware now. We are just going to write the program which is very close to the hardware. Understood the concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so rest we will continue in the next class. If you have any questions or doubts, please let me know. See, we haven't started our syllabus yet, since I'm just taking only still the introduction part of microprocessor, because if you understand these basics only, we can properly learn about microcontroller 8051. Okay? Answer attendance, roll number 1. 2.
2 present, ma'am.
3. 4.
4 present, ma'am.
5.
5 present, ma'am.
6.
6 present, ma'am.
7.
7 present, ma'am.
8.
8 present, ma'am.
9.
9 present, ma'am.
10. 11.
11 present, ma'am.
12.
Ma'am, roll number 3 present, ma'am. I was having some mic issue on my end, ma'am.
All right. 13.
13 present, ma'am.
14.
Present, ma'am. 14.
15. 16. 17. 18. 19.
19 present, ma'am.
20. 21.
Roll number 19 present, ma'am.
Yes, got it. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25.
Present, ma'am. 25.
26.
Ma'am, 24 present. 24 present, ma'am.
Okay. 26. 27.
26 present, ma'am.
27.
27 present, ma'am.
28. 29.
28 present, ma'am. 28.
29. 30.
30 present, ma'am.
31. 32. 33. 34.
34 present, ma'am.
35.
Present, ma'am. 35.
36.
Ma'am.
Okay. 37. 38.
38 present, ma'am.
37 present, ma'am.
7 also present. Okay. 39.
Present, ma'am. 37 present, ma'am.
Okay. 40.
7, ma'am.
37, na?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. 40. 41.
41 present, ma'am.
Okay. 42.
Yes, ma'am.
43.
43 present, ma'am.
44.
44 present, ma'am.
45.
45 present, ma'am.
46. 47. 48.
48 present, ma'am.
49.
49 present, ma'am.
50. 51. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 60.
60 present, ma'am.
61.
61 present, ma'am.
62. 63. 64.
Present, ma'am. 64.
Okay. 65.
Present, ma'am. 65.
ठीक है. 66.
Present was 66.
67.
Present, ma'am.
68. 69.
69 present, ma'am.
Okay. 70. 71.
71 present, ma'am.
72.
72 present, ma'am.
73. 74. 75. 76.
76 present, ma'am.
77. 78.
78 present, ma'am.
79.
79 present, ma'am.
80. 81.
Present, ma'am. 81.
82.
82 present, ma'am.
83.
Present, ma'am. 83.
84.
84 present, ma'am.
86. Okay, thank you all.
86 present, ma'am. 86.
Ma'am, roll number 15 present.